I'm sure by now you've probably heard the term grounding, whether online, from a friend talking about it, but you might not be sure what exactly that means or how to do it. And in this video, I'm going to share not only why grounding is more than just a trendy term being thrown around, but I'm going to share tips on how you can learn to ground yourself anytime, anywhere. If you ever feel your energy scattered, or you feel anxious, or you even feel like you're picking up other people's energy, that's a sign that you should ground yourself. And if you feel these things often, you should be grounding yourself regularly. Let's talk about what grounding actually means and why it's beneficial. Now, a lot of times when you see posts online, maybe from your friends that are posting about grounding, they share a photo of their bare feet on the grass, or maybe even standing on the sand at the beach. And while they're not technically wrong, what they're doing is a form of grounding. What the practice that they're doing is actually called is earthing. And I'll share a little bit more about that in a while. First, I want to talk about some of the benefits of grounding. So not only is grounding calming, but what it really does is it brings your energy back into your body. It roots you into your body and into the present moment. It's a way that you can release energy or emotions that aren't serving you. It's a way to balance your nervous system. And it's even a way to release energy or emotions that you may pick up from other people. This is really important if you're somebody who's empathic, because it's very easy if you're just a person who's sensitive to energy or see yourself as an empath. You're often picking up on other people's energy and emotions. And if you're not grounding yourself, those can really take over and you feel like they're your own. And so grounding is a way to release what isn't serving you or doesn't belong to you. Grounding is also a really great form of self-care. When you're grounding your energy, you're bringing more presence into your life. You're removing those external emotions or energies or things that pull you out of the present moment. You're focusing on other things. When you ground yourself, you're reclaiming your energy for yourself. You're becoming present in your body in what's happening in the present moment. It's also really great for your nervous system. It helps relax your nervous system. It can release tension, the anxiety, things like that. And also, it's a really great energetic hygiene practice. And that term may seem weird, but energetic hygiene is being aware of your own energy field, your aura, and how other people's energy can affect you. Especially if you are empathic, you're very sensitive to energy and to emotions. If you are spiritually based, even if you work with clients on a one-to-one basis, specifically if you're close in their energetic field, people like massage therapists, energy healers, even doctors, anyone where you're really getting into somebody else's personal space, into their aura, you can really suck in their emotions and their energy. And you want to cleanse that. And grounding is a really, really good way to do that, because you can release their energy. I like to kind of transmute it down into the earth. But there are a lot of ways you can do it just by a simple grounding and calling your own energy back with the intention of releasing others. There are so many ways that you can ground. And the most important thing is finding what works for you. What I share as my favorite grounding tip, it may not resonate with you, and that's okay. I'm just going to share 3 simple techniques. I recommend that you try them all and see which one resonates for you. Maybe different ones will work in different settings, but I want to share these kind of starting with the easiest and going to a little bit more complex. So the first way you can ground yourself is called earthing. This is what most people learn as grounding, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's the most simple one to do. However, it's not always accessible. So earthing is when you are outside in nature barefoot. You go out to the grass, you take off your shoes. You can either stand barefoot in the grass and just connect your energy with the earth and feel yourself ground. You can walk in the grass. You can even go over to a tree. I like to kind of feel their energy, put my hands on the tree. I love to hug trees. Your neighbors might look at you a bit weird, but it's okay. It's whatever works for you. If you don't have grass available, you can walk in the dirt. Or if you live somewhere by a beach, you can do the same thing in the sand. It's a really simple method. Anybody can do it. But you don't always have that option. Maybe you live in a high-rise apartment in the middle of a city and there just isn't a park nearby. Or you live somewhere where it gets really, really cold and it's the dead of winter and it's a blizzard outside. You're not going to want to go outside barefoot. When we need grounding, it often comes to us when we're somewhere that it's just not an option. We're in the middle of a day at work, you're in the office, and you're in this office setting and you need to be able to ground yourself, and you can't exactly just up and leave work and walk outside and take your shoes off and like walk through the lawn. I mean, maybe you work somewhere that you can, but in general, that's just not an option. The next two tips are techniques that you can use anywhere, anytime. Another method, which I find to be my go-to for grounding, is to envision yourself as a tree firmly rooted into the earth. And when you do this, you're envisioning that the soles of your feet develop these roots that branch you down into the earth. Some people find this very off-putting. It creeps them out. And that's okay if you're one of them. Don't worry about it. Not every tip is for everybody. I see it more as energetic tree roots, but some people prefer to have a grounding cord that drops from the base of their spine or from their root chakra or things like that. I'm going to just guide you through how I do this in my head. You will find your own variation that works. You might want to do exactly how I teach you. It's totally up to you. And again, don't take everything too literally. Just do what works for you. So go ahead and close your eyes. I'll do this with you. If you can, I'd say be seated in a chair with your feet firmly on the floor. Close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in and out. Already feeling your body relax. Take another deep breath in and out. Now, keeping your eyes closed, envision a golden globe hovering above your head, maybe about a foot above your crown chakra. And just see this golden globe, knowing it's filled with source energy. And envisioning that globe opening and see that gold liquid pouring down through your crown chakra. And as it fills all the way down your body, just visualize as it moves through your head, through your neck, your shoulders, down your arms and through your fingertips. Envision this golden energy going through your torso, moving down through your hips, your legs, all the way down until it comes out through the soles of your feet. And you see it branching in all directions, going deep down through the earth until it wraps all the way down around the core of the earth. Now feel those cords securing you. You may even notice that you feel heavier in your seat. The lower portion of your body may feel denser and heavier because you're really rooted down to the earth. Now you can stay here as long as you need to help ground your energy. As you do this, spend as much time as you like, especially while you're getting used to it. I know some people that spend 20 to 30 minutes doing this, and really it's more of like a grounding meditation for them. And you really just, as this energy starts coming in from your crown chakra at the top of your head, you feel it come in and just fill your body with this golden energy coming down. And as it goes lower, I can feel my body, it almost feels like I get heavier, like I'm sitting a little bit heavier in the chair. And I can feel just this calming as it happens. And when you get more and more comfortable with this, you're going to realize that you can do it so much faster. If you're standing in line at a grocery store, and let's just say the person in front of you is having a 20-minute conversation with the person at the checkout counter, and you just can feel your energy boiling because you have to be somewhere. You can very, very quickly, I can do it in 5 to 10 seconds because I'm so comfortable and familiar with how it feels that I can just sometimes like take a deep breath in and like open my eyes, and just while I'm breathing, I'm doing it. I'm grounding my energy so quickly that it pulls me out and it calms me. It may take a long time. You may never get to a point where 10 seconds does it for you. But the point is you just try it and you get comfortable with it. The last technique is called the 5-4-3-2-1 sensory technique. This involves using all of your senses to bring you into the present moment. The first time I did this practice myself, I was out in nature and I chose a spot to stop on, like kind of a secluded hike in the woods, because I really wanted to see what kind of things I could pull from this. But you can also do it in your house, in an office, anywhere. So the first thing you do is you focus on 5 things that you can see. Don't think too much about them, just take them in and notice them. So 5 things you can see. The next step is 4 things that you can feel. Now you might be like, I don't know, I can't find 4 things I can feel. This can be anything. This can be, if you're seated in a chair, you can feel the weight of your body sitting on the surface. You can feel the way your clothing is touching your skin. If you're outside, you may feel a breeze blowing. So things like that. It can be anything, but 4 things that you can feel. The next is 3 things that you can hear. If you're outside, this will probably be easy because you'll be able to hear nature. You'll be able to hear maybe traffic. There could be the leaves rustling in the wind. If you're inside, especially if you're in a quiet home, it's actually going to take a little bit more to hear things. And it might be that you hear the air conditioning or the furnace kicking on. You might hear a dog barking outside. Doesn't necessarily have to be in your house. And you find these tiny little things that you can hear. Then you find 2 things that you can smell. You can see some of these when you're outdoors are much easier to do than indoors. Sometimes you really have to think about it. But if you're inside, maybe it's the smell of something baking in the oven. It could be cologne that you're wearing. It could be freshly washed laundry. And the last is 1 thing that you can taste. Maybe you just recently had a sip of coffee, so you can taste that lingering coffee. Maybe it's a flavored one and you taste hazelnut or vanilla. Maybe you ate a piece of chocolate earlier, or you had just brushed your teeth and you still taste the toothpaste. You get the idea. So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And I would recommend trying this outdoors and try it indoors and see which works best for you. I personally like to do it with my eyes closed so that I had become more attuned to my senses. but you can do it with your eyes open. So if you're at work and you just are like, I need to get into my present moment, I need to ground myself, you can completely do it with your eyes open. You'll find what works for you. Again, it's more of trying these things and seeing which one makes you feel the most grounded, the most at peace, the most energetically present. And lastly, there are tons of products that you can use and crystals. So if you are struggling and these grounding tips are just a little bit hard for you to do on your own, I know I personally have quite a few grounding products I sell. I make small batch self-care and ritual tools. I have a grounding room and body spray, and I like to spritz it over me. The scent alone can ground you on the spot. It's a very earthy scent. So when you want things that are grounding in terms of scents, it's usually things that are trees and roots and shrubs and things that really are a little bit more earthy, like vetiver's and tea tree and patchouli and different things like that. You can also burn incense that has those same type of scents if you find a scent that really works to help ground you. For you, it could be something that's not seen as a traditional grounding scent. Maybe for you, your number one form of grounding is to go earthing outside and you like to be barefoot in the grass. And so in the winter, when you can't do that, maybe for you, burning a candle that smells like freshly cut grass is that scent that you would need to ground yourself. It can be anything. It's really all about finding your personal things that work. I have grounding sprays, I have oil, and I have bath salts. I'll share a link to those. They're all wonderful to work with if you're struggling to find ways to ground yourself. You just want that extra little boost. Or it's sometime where if you're out and about and you don't have time to go through one of these, you can just very quickly spritz yourself or use the oil roller and just breathe it in, and in 30 seconds, you're grounded. There's also a lot of crystals that are grounding, and you can carry them with you. You can hold them when you're feeling ungrounded. You can even wear them as jewelry. It doesn't matter what form of grounding you choose. It's just about making sure you do it regularly. I would recommend, if you can, every day. If you don't have a lot of time, even just spending 2 to 3 minutes to ground yourself can make a huge difference. So really just remembering that grounding is a technique that you use to help you feel calmer, help you feel more present in your body, and just help regulate your nervous system and your emotions. So if you have any questions at all about these grounding tips, drop them in the comments. Share which ones work for you. Maybe you have a different technique, one that I didn't mention. Feel free to share that as well. I always like hearing what works for people because we're all different.